Australia, represented by Adelaide. And a welcome to you from Max Bear Park here in Livermore. He's the longtime big leaguer, Kevin Pillar. I'm Darren Vaught. Kevin, this is it. Day one, game one. A lot of excitement all the way around.
Yeah, you talked about the long travel. No one is tired this morning. These guys have dreamed about this opportunity for a long time, and it's really important. Game one, get off to a good start. If you lose the first game, you still have an opportunity to come back, but it's very important to set a tone here in the first game.
It certainly is, and this is a competition that over the years has been dominated often by the representatives from South Korea. This West Seoul A Little League team is no different. It's their 9th appearance at this event.
Yeah, this team's really comfortable coming to an event like this, but baseball and Korea are just things that are supposed to happen. These kids grow up playing baseball their whole time, and then you talk about a team like Australia that's new to this tournament. It's an up-and-coming baseball country. We're starting to see more major leaguers come out of Australia. We've seen the recent success of the World Baseball Classic team. This is going to be a very interesting matchup here today.
South Adelaide, or Adelaide and South Australia rather, it's the Adelaide Armada Little League that is represented here this morning. And it's their first appearance at this event. Adelaide, the home of several big leaguers, including Curtis Mead. A lot of trade deadline talk. He was kind of the first Major League Baseball player to move places early in the deadline here. I know you've been talking Tarek Skubal for the past 12 hours or so.
Yeah, I mean, Curtis Mead, was kind of like the first chip to fall. It was kind of an unexpected trade, and sadly, he had the wrist injury. So that's part of doing business at the major league level.
Notable Australians to make their way into pro baseball. How about Travis Bazzana, right? #1 overall pick. He's had a standout season with the Cleveland Guardians as well.
Yeah, I don't think you got to look any further than him. The fact that he was the first overall pick, he left Australia, went and played college baseball, became the first overall pick, and now an all-star in his first season, has to give a lot of these kids from Australia a ton of hope.
So South Korea is the home team, which means they begin in the field. Therefore, Australia will head to the plate first. They're led off by their pitcher. It's Archie Wallace getting set for the first plate appearance of the Intermediate League World Series.
South Korea defense today, out at left field, #10.
Wallace to be followed by his battery mate, Archer Pratt, Ethan Zunchins. The three due up for this Australian team. Meanwhile, for South Korea, it is Ji-Hoon Shin, who is their starting pitcher.
#23, Kim at second base. #16, Dai on Lee at third base.
First offering from Shin is off the mark. So it's a 1-0. Mentioned the thousands of miles traveled by both of these teams. Over 8,000 for the guys from Adelaide here, as it's a reach, a swing, and a miss, and a 1-1 count to Wallace.
Yeah, that's a long way to travel for a baseball tournament. You mentioned at 9 a.m. here. I have no idea what time it is back in Australia, but I know it doesn't matter to these kids. They're excited to be here.
1-1, swung on the other way and foul, so 2 strikes on Wallace now. Perhaps some nerves going, Kevin, but you mentioned it earlier. This first game can get you off on the right foot, really set the stage for this week here.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of nerves, but at this age, the most important thing is you just got to throw strikes. You can't give up free base runners. Allow your defense to work, and as an offensive player, make the pitcher throw strikes.
Shin's 1-2, off the mark outside.
And that's a great pitch right there. When you attack the strike zone and you get ahead, you then can throw quality pitches. He just misses off the outside corner right there. Really good take by the batter.
2-2. Into the air, center field, drifting under and making the catch. Soha Kim reels it in for the first out.
Yeah, really good jump by the center fielder right there. He was shaded a little bit off to right center field, got a really good read and made that play look really routine.
Batting second for Australia, number 22, Archer Spratt.
So one away for Archer Spratt, nobody on. Now 0-1. Shin around the strike zone, if not directly in it. Like to see that. Now 1-1.
Yeah, especially at this age, when you could be around the strike zone, you're now forcing the batter to have to swing the bat. You see a lot of times in this tournament when the pitcher is unable to find the strike zone, hitters just go up there and they're really patient. They're able to get free base runners, and then you're able to, one hit can score multiple runs.
Good pitch on the inside corner. Now 2 strikes on Spratt. The setup was outside. That's where the pitch is.
Yeah, and when the catcher sets up really off home plate like that, when he's asking to go away, you're okay with the miss way off the plate. Sometimes you'll see a catcher just set up on the corner of the plate, and when he misses, the pitch is over the plate. He wanted that to be a ball. He was trying to get a chase there.
Two. Challenges him a bit more, and it's skied into right field for out number 2. Kang-Yul Kim making the catch. So a couple of batters faced for Shin, a couple of fly ball outs. And South Korea an out away from flipping this thing over and getting to the batter's box themselves.
I know Australia has nothing to really show for it in terms of base runners, but I love their approach right now. They're seeing quite a few pitches, they're swinging at the right ones, and they're putting the ball in play. At this level, putting the ball in play is the most important thing you can do.
Watchful eye by Ethan Zunchins, the third batter for Australia. It's the shortstop.
Shortstop with good taste in music.
Yeah. Just off the mark, 2-0. After a couple of good takes by Zunchins. Rips it, but foul. And it's 2-1. Another good example of that approach you're talking about, right? Lays off of a couple, gets one he likes, and lets it rip.
Yeah, we talked about this in the opening. South Korea is a team that's been here before. This is the first time for Australia, and you could just get a sense right now that this team from Australia knows they belong here. They're not worried about facing a team that's been here 9 consecutive years. They're coming out with a lot of confidence right now.
2-1. Nicked foul. And it's another 2-strike count.
Deep breath right there. I think that's a part of the game that when I was a kid, it wasn't talked about a ton, but being able to slow the game down, breathing, especially with 2 strikes.
2-2. Zunchins lays off and works the count full. That's 3 balls in this 3-2 count. They've all been close.
That is a really close pitch. Catcher does a decent job trying to sell it as a strike, but really good job by the batter laying off a tough 2-2 pitch right there.
Full count. Zunchins bounces it up the middle, and it skips through into center. He reaches safely and puts the first base runner on in this Intermediate Baseball World Series.
A lot of times we'll talk about the actual result, getting on base, but that was really set up by the 2-2 pitch right there. Really quality pitch, lays off, gets a better pitch right here, and hits a hard ground ball up the middle for the first base runner of the tournament.
Brings up Zach Gratton, another left-handed batter. And a turn and a pickoff move to first for the base runner, Zunchins.
The thing I love about this age group, this tournament, this format, the fact that they can lead off and they can steal really is going to let you know how Australia, how confident they are. If they're going to push the envelope right here, force Korea to try to make some outs on the base pass, it'll be very interesting. Two outs right here. Runner at first base, do they push the envelope a little bit and try to get a runner into scoring position early in this game?
Another take and a 2-0. Yeah, it's a new thing for these guys at this age level. So
yeah, and when you have base runners on with the lead, and even if they're not going to run, if they can appear like they're going to run, it puts extra stress on the pitcher to not only hold the runner but also execute his pitches.
Spinner misses up and out, 3-0 to Gratton. And suddenly, after a couple of fly balls, it's a bit of a tricky situation for South Korea here.
Yeah, this is a perfect example of what we were just talking about here. He's able to kind of go through the first two hitters, be around the zone. Now he has the added pressure of holding a runner at first base. It's hard to focus on the runner, throw strikes, so that's why it's super important at this age to swing at the right pitches, put the ball in play, and put the pressure not only on the pitcher but the defense to make plays.
Shen unable to find the strike zone. That's ball 4. Now 2 aboard for Australia with 2 away. More approach success for Australia. Like you had said before, despite the first 2 batters getting out, still seeing a lot of pitches.
Yeah, early on when you're a leadoff guy, a number 2 guy, it's really important that you swing at the right pitches, you see some more pitches, but you're also letting your teammates know it's possible. We can put the ball in play off them. If the first 2 guys strike out, the next couple guys kind of go into a situation feeling like this guy might be unhittable.
And so after 20 pitches by Shin, we're going to get a switch for South Korea. So Jung-am Kim is now the pitcher for South Korea. We'll give him a moment to get warmed up. 2 down, 2 on. And something of a spot for the home team. Runners at first and second, 2 away. And a step off of the rubber. More concern for the base runners. Again, this is a new element to the game for these youngsters. And it's taken by Harding, 1-0.
Yeah, the fact that nobody was there in terms of infielder covering the base that's strictly on the pitcher being concerned about the base runners. It wasn't a call play. He just felt a little bit uncomfortable with the base runner's lead at second base. He steps off.
Harding steps into it but watches, and it evens the count 1-1. Now 2-1. More patience being exercised by Australia.
Yeah, great opportunity for Australia here. Team that's first time in this tournament. They got runners at first and second with 2 outs early in the game. Could kind of set the tone for the game.
Harding rips it on the ground over to second base. It's vacuumed up by Jihan Lee, and that executes the 3rd out. So we're through a half of a frame. South Korea to the plate when we come back. Baseball World Series. Young In Cho and Kang Min Kim, the first 2 due up, followed by Soha Kim for this South Korea squad. Continuous batting order. So as you see 12 batters on your screen, they will send them up in that order before it gets back up to the leadoff batter. And for Australia, we saw Archie Wallace earlier as their leadoff batter. And the top of the first, he is the pitcher, the left-hander. Gets things started defensively.
There was a time in Major League Baseball that it would be weird to say the pitcher was also leading off, and that's what makes Little League so special. But then we have this guy Shohei Ohtani who does it seemingly every 6th day now.
That's true.
Number 15, Young In Cho.
So Young In Cho digs in, and Wallace with the first pitch swung on and fouled straight back into the backstop. 0-1.
I love, as a leadoff hitter, swinging at the first pitch. What are you taught as a pitcher? Throw strikes, establish the strike zone. You know you're getting a fastball. Be confident as a hitter to go up there and swing at the first pitch.
So 0-1, maybe an indication too of some varying approaches between these two teams. That one taken, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, a team that's been here before, maybe the nerves are a little bit less. They're able to kind of just play their normal game, go out there. They've been here before, they've done it before.
1-1 from Wallace, gets a foul tip, and strike 2. Away from him, 2-2. Little left-hander, straight over the top. This is low, and now it's a full count.
Yeah, I think this is something you learn as a pitcher and a catcher right here. He threw 2 really good fastballs. He got some swings and misses. He wanted to try to go to a secondary pitch to try to get chase, but sometimes you got to just establish your fastball until guys can hit it.
He pumps a fastball, and that one's sent deep to center field, and it drops just shy of the fence. So Young In Cho will hold up its second, and the leadoff batter immediately into scoring position for South Korea.
Yeah, it's a really good job by the pitcher going 3-2, knowing he has to throw a strike. We talked about the importance of throwing strikes in this tournament, allowing them to put it in play. But just a really, really good swing right there by the batter. And the center fielder sitting up here, if he would have just kept his glove down a little bit longer and just stayed in his natural running motion, I think he would have got to that ball. He got the glove out there a little bit early, but we're also sitting in the opposite direction. I do believe that there's some sun in the center fielder's eyes right there. Very difficult play for a center fielder to make.
That's a great observation. Sun rising behind us as, again, it is 9:23 local time here in Livermore.
Yeah, and sometimes there's only so much you can do as an outfielder. You're kind of a victim of where the sun is at. You can only contort your body so much and block the sun so much.
Rolled over ground ball to first base is fielded for the out. So Kangmin Kim grounds out but advances the runner to third.
Yeah, very important to be productive with the outs that you make in this tournament. The fact that he was able to hit the ball to the right side allows the runner from second base to easily advance to third. Now we have a runner at third base with 1 out. A lot easier to score a guy with a runner at third base than there is at second base.
Center fielder Soha Kim, the batter. Big cut at it.
There's that fastball again. I know he gave up the double to center field, but it's hard to tell sitting up here, but it looks like he's got some really good velocity on that fastball. There hasn't been a lot of guys really timing it up. So if I'm the catcher here, I'm going up with the fastball in the zone.
Favorite thing about Little League for Soha Kim, hitting home runs and striking out batters. Infield in for Australia as that misses high, 1-1. You mentioned that leadoff batter, the double to center field. it was one of those things where Young In Cho took a pretty good swing at the first pitch fastball, but then he got 3-2, and you kind of knew it was coming again. So it feels to me, Kevin, if Wallace can stay away from those situations where it's predictably going to be a fastball, it can be more effective for him.
Yeah, I have no problem throwing the off-speed 0-2, 1-2, but 2-2 is a count where it still can be a little bit unpredictable. You stay with the fastball right there, because when you throw a ball and you get to a 3-2 count, the fastball becomes a lot more guaranteed, and you could tell the batter was geared up for the fastball. If he would have gone to the fastball in that 2-2 count, there's still this idea from a batter's perspective that it could be an off-speed pitch.
So the pitch fouled away by Kim. He's got 2-2. This would be a big second out if Wallace can get it and keep the runner at third. Close take. And now it's another full count. So will it be the fastball from Wallace? And
so
if it is, does Kim anticipate that?
So I think this situation's a little bit different. You know, you don't want to walk the leadoff guy, but the fact that you do have a base open right here, he can still be a little bit unpredictable.
Forces a foul ball, keeps it 3-2.
He's got good zip on the fastball. A well-located fastball, I believe, can get the batter out here. It's just a matter of coming down to executing your pitches.
Infield remains in. Wallace another 3-2, drops low. And it's a called strike. The throw to first allows the runner to come in from third. So that was called a dropped third strike. Neither the batter nor the runner is thrown out by Australia, and South Korea takes a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused on what happened here. I'm sure, did the umpire call them out? So the catcher does the right thing, throwing down to first base. Tremendous read by the runner at third base here, but I think there's just a little bit of indecisiveness of what was actually happening here.
So here's another look at the pitch. Okay, yeah, and that popped out of the catcher's glove. So a called strike 3. That was run out by Soha Kim, and then the throw to first allowed the runner to score. Wow. Miss low and a throw back.
Yeah, we'll have to get a more clarification on what happened there. The only thing that I could think is that he called strike 3. The fact the catcher dropped the ball, he was telling the base runner he was allowed to run.
Well, you saw the look from Archer Spratt, the catcher, back to the home plate umpire as if to ask, hey, is this a situation where I need to throw to first? And to me, there was enough of a beat taken to where he got some sort of confirmation.
Yeah, that's the only thing that could have happened.
If it's ball 4, why do you throw?
Yeah, if it was ball 4, he wouldn't have thrown it. The umpire must have called strike 3 with the fact he didn't catch it.
There goes the runner from first, and Spratt's throw to second not in time, so Kim steals.
It's the first game for these umpires, too, as well in this tournament, too. And it's a little bit unfortunate for Australia right there because the pitcher on the mound executed a great pitch right there, and it was just a little bit of maybe indecisiveness, a little bit of confusion between the catcher and the umpire there that led to the first run.
South Korean catcher Hyunjin Kim now with the runner in scoring position. The 2-1. Kim takes off again, and that one is crushed out to left field and over the fence, gone. A 2-run home run. Hyunjin Kim's long ball makes it 3-0 South Korea here in the first.
Yeah, what a tremendous swing by Kim right there. We've been talking about the fastball velocity and the location. This one he did not locate that well, but he's also been falling a little bit behind in the count, getting a little bit predictable with the fastball, but just a tremendous swing by Kim right there. A high line drive over the left center field wall. Beautiful thing to watch.
Cleared base paths, one away. And Wallace hurls it in, but misses 1-0. Packages a strike there, 1-1.
Yeah, Archie's past that 20 pitch limit that we saw Korea go to the bullpen. So it looks like this is his inning regardless.
Up and inside. Now 2-1. Now something too that you hear preached by coaches at this level too is you got to get that bat head down. It missed Jihan Lee's bat, but occasionally you can see that high and inside pitch. A batter ducks it, but it's a foul ball, or even sometimes it squares up and goes into play.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario as a hitter. It's one, getting hit by the pitch. Second is feeling like you're going to get hit by the pitch and then it ends up hitting your bat. As a hitter, you're always trying to get the count into your favor. When it's an obvious ball like that and it hits your bat, it's a very frustrating thing as a hitter.
Good high fastball, gets a swing and a miss. Full count. And Jihan Lee skies it up into shallow right field. Catch is made, and there are 2 down. Tricky play for Will Fuller out there. You mentioned that Sun earlier.
Yeah, great job between the right fielder, second baseman, communicating right there. As a coach, you want both your guys being competitive, thinking it's their ball, but when you understand the priority of who has priority on fly balls, the right fielder coming in always has priority over the infielder. Really good job by the right fielder right there, calling him off.
2 down for the new batter of Min Soo Kim. Shuffles out of the way, 1-0. Lets it rip, and it's foul, 1-1. It's drifted high, 2-1. Off the hands.
Really nice job coming back right there with a well-executed fastball. When it's your first time on a stage like this, playing on television, at a big tournament right here, you give up a home run in the first inning. It's hard to get your emotions intact. The fact that he's been able to kind of bounce back, throw strikes, it's really important for his team to get out of this inning, keeping it at 3 runs.
Chopped foul keeps it at 2-2. And we've got a loose ball that needs to get taken care of before we can resume. First pitch on the way for Wallace. Into the air. Foul ground right side. Not able to be squeezed by Brock Harding at first.
Yeah, you could tell the way he was looking up at that fly ball that sun is affecting him. What he could have done better there, and it's hard to battle the sun, but when you are facing an element such as a fence, it's really important that you go over and find where that fence is. The fact that he didn't stick his glove out and feel for the fence, he has no idea where that fence is. He actually had a little bit more room than he thought. This is something that his coaches will continue to work on with him. Find the fence, then you know where you're at kind of in space. If you're going over towards the fence with no idea, you don't know if it's 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps away, and it makes it really difficult to catch that ball.
Inside now, a full count.
We're kind of creeping up on that next level of pitch eligibility too at 35 pitches. Very important that he's able to get out of this inning.
Ninth pitch gets a swing and a miss from Min-Soo Kim. Wallace caps off the bottom of the first with a strikeout, but South Korea strikes first